Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm feeling very Schiaparelli today. You know, Schiaparelli couture. The topic of hookup culture is not new, but as it endures to poison our society's view on relationships, I think it's time to double down and speak clearly of its malignancy. I despise hookup culture, and as a woman, I become insulted when it's fabled as a resource for sexual freedom. If sexual freedom means bodily autonomy, it does not mean that you submit to your instincts, or in most cases, just plain poor judgment. Sexual liberation is achieved when you're in control of your body, of your mind, of your decisions. The choice to engage with somebody intimately is one of determination. If you submit to the false promise of an ebullient sex life through hookup culture, you are going to quickly find yourself a fool. I hear countless stories of women going through countless men, often after drinking heavily, and just waking up in the morning feeling lesser, feeling disappointed by their partner's performance, or worse, feeling indifferent about what had transpired. I mean, sounds great, doesn't it? The thing that makes itself very clear to me after talking to these women is that instead of that hookup, they would rather have just stayed at home and read a book, or stayed with their friends for the remainder of the night, or better yet, doing something productive, something that made you happy. When it comes to casual hookups, I feel that you should be discerning, should master the art of delayed gratification, of seduction, and build up your intuition to know when a partner is right for you, even if it is only for one evening. I also feel the need to mention that I do not subscribe to the idea that only men benefit from the hookup culture craze or the normalization of sex work. I believe that easy access to intimacy harms both men and women. But I definitely will say that women take it harder on themselves, especially since women do not reach the same level of satisfaction with the same ease that men do. I have definitely heard from men, though, too, that even after they've reached that satisfaction, they are still able to reflect on the emptiness that is felt afterward. The point that I want to get across here is that nobody wins in hookup culture. It's destructive. I mean, it's actively working against a connection that should actually make intimacy more interesting, more exciting. The common adjective that I hear that is used to describe these multiple encounters with strangers is cheap. Cheap. Ladies and gentlemen, intimacy is sacred. If you've been watching me for a while, then you'll know that I take seduction very seriously. I believe that you should seduce yourself before sharing yourself with another person. I believe in the arena of pursuit, or the long game, as some people would call it. I believe your life, your intimate life, should be filled with theater and enchantment and meaningful interactions. And above all, I believe in individualism, the importance of what you want, the lucidity that it takes to make those decisions. Hookup culture, to me, seeks to diminish the importance of those things. Too many people yield to the dark chaos pit of their instincts, and the beauty, the art of intimacy is cruelly dismissed for what? A quickie in the bathroom? Something after a sloppy makeout on a beer-drenched floor? It's a tragedy. It's cheap. Those of you who condone hookup culture, who see the light in it, and are asking me why, Celine, is it all that bad to get dressed up, get boozed up, listen to music, have a good time, and leave with somebody that you met at the bar? What is so terrible about that, and what is so terrible about doing that frequently in your youth? Well, here it is in my humble opinion. 1. Hookup culture relies on poor and often impaired judgment, leading to sometimes very unsavory ends, if you know what I mean. But often, so often, leading to a feeling of self-degradation or just general dissatisfaction. 2, hookup culture is extremely vapid, using outward appearance and physical attractiveness as an indication of sexual adeptness. Take it from me, beauty is very misleading. And I'm not saying that because I think I'm pretty. I'm saying as somebody that advocates for beauty, it's full of false promises. 3, hookup culture jades you. It makes intimacy feel like brushing your teeth and equates vulnerability in connection to something like a chore. People stop being people. We stop making the necessary connection that is so important to just being human. Intimacy becomes monotonous and almost transactional. 3, hookup culture preys on the emotionally wounded and seeks to open that wound wider. The first thing that I see people do after a breakup especially, or after some kind of tragic event in their life, is they look for a stand-in to numb that pain. And that is properly the very last thing you should do. Hookup culture exacerbates issues that you have, and it doesn't promote gradual healing or self-reflection. It doesn't advocate for the solitude necessary to get through those hard moments in your life, which a lot of character building happens in that time. And number 5, lastly, hookup culture does not honor the sacred, something I am a proponent for. Not enough time passes in hookup culture for there to be theater and beauty and ritual. Those things that make intimacy so divine and singularly fulfilling. There is no seduction. There is no pursuit or chase or meandering. It's all just so startlingly abrupt. There's no patience, no virtue. There's no consideration for the eroticism leading up to just speaking to a potential partner. And I'm not even talking about foreplay at this point. I'm talking about setting the tone, setting the scene, what Anais Nin called glances marrying in space. What about the eroticism of yielding, of not giving in? As intelligent beings, we are capable of sending intimacy and eroticism to soaring heights. Human beings are capable of so much more, even if it is a one-night stand. That one evening can be earth-shattering if there's a proper amount of time that has gone by before it happens. So I think I made my point there very clearly. And now you may ask, well, what is my solution? Discipline, baby. I hate saying it like this because it sounds weird and culty, but I would encourage practicing a kind of temporary celibacy. Hear me out. I know that sounds strange. One of my closest friends once told me that whenever she is away from a proper lover, or there is no proper lover in sight, that she literally becomes asexual. She's in a kind of dormant state that is only broken when the right moment arises. There it is. Dormant until the right moment arises. Repeat that over and over in your head. Polish that in your mind. You only give yourself to another person you feel is valuable enough. Someone interesting and strange and alluring. You don't want somebody that's trying to get into bed with you as soon as possible. I can guarantee you that almost nothing good comes from that. A good lover will wait. Determining whether somebody is a proper lover within the first moments of meeting them is very rare, but it definitely happens. I would say that that happens after a period of time where you've developed good intuition, where you've developed the ability to tell within that period of time. And I think those instincts get a little bit more refined as you get older. Now, that dormancy period can take a long time. It can last a while, it's true. But you surely will sleep better at night knowing that you're not just giving it up to anybody, polluting yourself with like unfulfilled desires and shameful exploits. You just don't want those thoughts, those experiences clouding your mind. Why? Over time, you're going to just acquire good taste. You won't settle for less than what you want because it's not just about satisfying an urge anymore. Satisfying you now requires a higher grade of intimacy, a finer grade. And after that, you simply just can't return to hookup culture. There is no going back. Once you've tasted what it's like to wait, to kind of be on the hunt and kind of seek out a partner over time, and how fulfilling it is whenever you do wait. After you develop that kind of keen instinct for detecting a proper lover, and you know how to wait and you understand the importance of that, you just can't go back to hookup culture. You learn to be this way over time with discipline, with restraint, and then you kind of just go into that very stoic state of dormancy. And after an untold amount of time, the time frames vary, you're gonna spot them. That ideal lover. You've watched them, you've studied them, your intuition tells you, yes, your mind deems the risk, and there's always risk, permissible. It seems promising and worth it. Right then, that's when you go for the jugular. Don't hold back. I really think we need to rebrand sexual liberation in an armor of self-respect, not hedonism. In our intimate lives, we really need to be selective and have high standards. Personally, I feel like we should apply this to everyday life, not just sex. My goal is to communicate a higher way of living, through my channel. And then when it comes to relationships, I mean, it's all we have. It's all we are. Our social relationships define us as human beings. We need one another. We need the moments between us to be poetic and filled with joy. Hookup culture, to me, seeks to divide us, to numb us, to deliver us from the fruits of vulnerability. And the possibility of getting hurt is no excuse to participate in that, to advocate for it. In a world where our whims are catered to at the touch of a button, where pleasure is all accessible, we need to find God somewhere in that. And if not God, then a higher version of ourselves that we aim for. The practice of self-destruction that is exemplified in hookup culture only aims to enslave us, to equalize us, and to drive us away from beauty and divinity. And I just won't have it. And neither should you. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. I think that hookup culture and casual sex is always going to be around. Of course, I'm not naive to that, but I personally can't have this channel and not make a comment on it. I'm a proponent for discipline, for beauty, for actively seeking out small moments and caring about every little detail in my life. Things should be taken slowly. Things should be thought about. Symbolism and meaning should be driven into everything. And hookup culture is just it's just soulless. Let me know if you feel the same way about that. Or, I mean, if you want to, if you're courageous enough, you can detail your experiences below, how they affected you, what you think. So leave a comment. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.